Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for introduction, Alex. And congratulations for creating and making your first event. Second day, everyone's enjoying it, right? Yes. Good, good, good. Okay, before we start, just a quick check, vibe check. Who stayed until the end of the party yesterday? Okay, I'm very impressed that you are still in this room. Congratulations. I want to know your tricks on how you wake up in the morning. Anyways, so what I'm going to be talking about, I have a clicky-clacky here. Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about here today is AI. Obviously, it's a huge topic in the Atlassian ecosystem. But before we start with AI, I wanted to have a quick look on the State of the Teams 24 report that Atlassian published this year. So Atlassian is obsessed with the teamwork. And every year they publish this report to figure out what is going on in the teamwork space and how can they help and improve with their tools. And they found out this year that teams are busier than ever, but they're accomplishing less. Now, I don't think this is surprising to us, but someone needs to say it, right? So it looks like we are having more and more meetings. We are talking about the work, we are planning the work, but we don't have time to actually sit down and be in the flow and deliver what we are planning on. And then we are just slipping the deadlines, not accomplishing our goals, and so on. And when they were doing the research, they were thinking, like, why is this happening? Like, what is going on? And it looks like our calendars is just meeting over meeting, sync, catch up. I just need to quickly talk to you, get this information from you, and so on. And they also found out that we like to be very helpful creatures, and we like to respond to the messages very, very quickly. So 60% of us, if we get interrupted with a notification from Slack, and so any other communication tool that you use, maybe Teams here in Romania, me too, like to jump in and just help and answer that question, right? Now, that is a problem. And when you think about it, like, why are these people and why am I messaging my colleague to ask them something that I can maybe find in the Confluence? Confluence documentation, that was much better. So the thing is that 55% of us find it very, very hard to find information in the Confluence pages, right? And that's a big problem for Atlassian because there's so much information in Confluence space, but we are not able to find it. And AI might be one of the ways on how we can figure out and maybe get better in the search engines and so on. And after Atlassian released the Atlassian Intelligence to many of their customers, then they asked for the feedback and they found out that Atlassian Intelligence is saving 45 minutes every week to the users if they are using it on a daily basis. So definitely really, really good tool to get familiar with and to try out if you're on Jira Cloud. So let's talk about Atlassian Intelligence. Atlassian Intelligence was announced on Teams 2023. And it's now in the general availability, so if you have Jira Cloud, you should be able to go and give it a try. New features are being launched every day, so if you are familiar with it now, maybe tomorrow it's something completely different, so definitely stay up to date. There is over 30,000 customers that are using Atlassian Intelligence to boost the productivity, help with writing the content, writing the documentation pages, but also summarization. It's very useful in the incident management space, ITSM, and so on. So I'm going to talk about a few recent features that were announced since Team 24, so hopefully something new for you as well. So first thing that we are going to start with is the page summaries. So if you look at the Confluence pages, you will find this summarize button on top over here. Now, I know that this is quite old. You're like, oh, I already used the page summarization. Well, there is a new thing. So if you come to this page and you already seen it before, and you click on this summarize button, what's actually going to happen is you are going to get the update of the most recent changes since you visited that page. So if someone done already changes to that page after you visited, you can get the roundup of what was changed, the to-dos, who was involved, and so on. So really, really useful to get just quick update on what's going on before your meeting. You don't have time to read everything and go through the history changes, and you will be up to date and ready for your meeting. Atlassian is also trying to remove the context switching. I don't know if you're like me and you're in the flow, maybe reading some document page, and all of a sudden I click on the link and I end up in a Google Drive, And I'm like, ooh, this presentation that I created a year ago, let me have a look. Maybe there's something interesting. And then 30 minutes later, I'm like, oh no, I was supposed to just check quickly these numbers in the doc, and now I'm lost, right? So now I need to go back. So Atlassian is trying to avoid these distractions from the context switching and the context switching from the tools. And they're very heavily investing in the smart links. So these thingies that you see in the Confluence pages, they're called smart links. You can choose for them how they look. So either you can have like a small smart link like this, just with the title of what's going on in that particular document. Or you can also have like a preview, so you don't need to click out and get out of the tool. But if you hover over it, now there is an option to summarize the link with the AI. So if the link leads you to a Confluence page, Jira Software, Jira Work Management, Jira Service Management, Google, or Slack, you can use the summarization feature. Just get a quick summary and see if you want to continue to that link or no. So no more looking at the old presentations and pictures of your teammates' dogs. So really useful. Definitely give it a try. Now, I was talking about the summarization and so on, but that all kind of has a precondition that there is a documentation already ready. And I don't think we all like to write documentations. So we definitely need the help with that. Now, the thing is that AI and Atlassian is really good with kind of pushing you from 0 to 1 when it comes to writing the docs. So you can use it for brainstorming. If you just do the slide and then AI, you have already options to give you like inspiration on what you can use the AI for. Of course, it can kickstart like pages for you, so like titles and structures, and you can just fill it out. But there are also features like fixing spelling and grammar, translation from Romanian to English if you don't want to, straight write documentation in English, and so on. You can also change the tone, which is really, really great. If I write something and I'm heated up and I'm a bit annoyed, I can change it to empathetic, and now everyone thinks I'm super friendly. Here thinks I'm super friendly all the time, but yeah, not all the time, right? Okay, now, writing documentation from scratch is quite hard. So what I really, really like to do is to use this tool called Loom. Who is familiar with Loom? Okay, just a few of you. So I'm going to give you a quick introduction of the best tool ever that Atlassian acquired, okay? So Loom is a service that you can use to record the videos, and they're automatically uploaded to cloud, and you can share the link with your teammates. You can share the link via Slack, via Teams, and you can also, after you finish recording the video, there's a button to create the documentation or create the Jira ticket. So if you find a bug, for example, in the application that you're just developing, and you don't have time to, sit down and write all the steps to replicate and so on, you can just record a quick video, walking through the bug, and then you click the button and say, okay, create a ticket with the bug report. There are different preset options, and it already structures the bug report for you. You can click, create Jira ticket, and send it to your engineers. Done, 5 minutes, instead of 30 minutes, me trying to figure out how to write the bug report. So it's perfect. You can also use it to create document pages. There are different presets again, step-by-step guides. Code docs are really great if you're looking for a really short version of the documentation. So, yeah. I work in a team that is obsessed with docs. Every single time I need to write a documentation, I'm like, oh no, but I can always start with Loom. Give it a try. Definitely good. All right. Now let's talk about ITSM. Atlassian is heavily investing in ITSM and Jira Service Management. It's a really, really great tool. And there are a few features that they introduced to make it even easier for us to provide a better service to our customers and internal teams. So if you, for example, come to a completely new Jira ticket to you, but someone already had a conversation with the customer or with the person who raised it, maybe with your teammate, and there is a loads going on, you need to, in order to be able to help, you need to go through the whole ticket, figure out what they talked about, maybe what was reported, what kind of errors they captured, and so on. Maybe there was some links and documents also shared that are important. So what you can do is you can use the summarize button over here, if you scroll to the comment section, and you will be presented with this like a rainbowy section over here, and it will summarize everything that's going on in the ticket. So again, you're up to speed, Maybe it needs to be resolved super fast. Someone's going on a call with you, you have an incident going on, and you just need to figure out what's there so you can go and help and fix the bug. This is how you can get up to date in 5 seconds. Okay, now when we are talking about the customers and incidents, sometimes it happens that customers are not happy. Yeah, they are maybe a little bit upset, and we want to make sure that we capture and we know that the customers are upset, so we can help them and we can make them happy and they give us a good review maybe. So Atlassian is introducing the sentiment analysis, which is this section over here. What is really good about it is that not only you will figure out at a glance what's the customer sentiment and if they're okay or if it's negative, so you need to maybe help them more. It's stored in the Jira field. So what it means is you can use it for search. So you can create a dashboard with the tickets that have a negative sentiment. So maybe if you have your Jira Service Management dashboards and you want to quickly figure out at a glance, in the morning if you log in, what are my team's tickets that have a negative sentiment, and I need to act on that. But you can also use it for the Jira automation. So for example, if the sentiment changes to negative, then run this automation and automatically assign the ticket to the manager, right? So you escalated the ticket automatically to the manager. And one of the last things for the ITSM is automatically creating post-incident reviews. So incident happens all the time, but what's important for us is to learn from them and see what we can improve in the future. Now, writing the incident report, again, might not be the best task that you want to do every day. So AI is there to help you with that. It basically collects the information from all the related tickets to the particular incident, and it drafts that first version of the incident report for you. You can just edit it later or immediately, and you have the draft ready and you can share it with your team. All right. Oh, questions?
What languages are supported for analyzing the customer's sentiments?
I'm not 100% sure. I would answer if I would know. However, I have a link at the end of the presentation where you can go reach out with the questions. So it lands directly on the community forum for the Atlassian Intelligence. And because Atlassian Intelligence is a new product, the product team around it is very active in the community, and they pick up the questions from the customers and also feedback. So if you don't like something or if you want to see, this feature or that feature, you can share it there and they use that feedback to improve the product. All right, so let's talk about Rovo. I think you heard something about Rovo yesterday already, but it's a huge topic and it's definitely worth repeating. So what is Rovo? Rovo helps you transform the mountains of the data that you have across your Atlassian products, and it helps you find the information and use that information to create something new as well. So there are kind of like two sides to Rovo. One side is cross-product search, so trying to help you find that info across different products. And the other side is this Rovo chat that you can interact with, and you can create your own AI agents to help you deliver certain tasks. So you can think of them as a kind of like AI agent specialist as your teammates. So if your teammates are, for example, sleeping and you cannot or are not available, they're somewhere Bahamas on holidays, and you need someone to create the release notes with you, or your release manager is not available, you can go to Rovo, you can use the release notes agent. This is how the definition would look like. So you would see the instruction for the agent, you have some opening questions, quickly what it is about, and you can also chat to it. Agents doesn't necessarily need to be accessed only through Rovo itself, through Rovo chat, but also through Jira, Confluence, and so on. So I will show you the example of how we can use this particular agent through Confluence to create the release notes. So when you open the Confluence page and you can type AI again and you search for this particular agent, so it was called Jira release note. The questions that were predefined pop up, yeah? So you can say, can you create the release notes for me from this Jira query, or maybe you can just ask, from the last sprint, from this particular project, if you don't have a query, yeah? And then what Rovo does, it pulls the information from Jira, you're in Confluence, it pulls the information from Jira, from the project that you mentioned, from the sprint you mentioned, and it gives you a highlight of what was happening, basically the release notes that you would write, maybe even better. It gives you the links for the Jira ticket, and you can, of course, edit this or ask Rovo again to edit it to the format that you need. And again, you can connect Rovo to automation. So here's an example. If the sprint is completed, then run the Rovo agent, which creates the release notes, and make sure it publishes the Confluence page with this release notes. So you have a draft of your release notes just when your sprint finishes in a few seconds. And then you can just edit it. Once you're happy, send it out. Good thing about these Rovo agents is that you can copy them and you can edit the instructions. So if you're, for example, not happy with having emojis and this kind of like a style of release notes, you can edit the instructions and make sure that it matches the format that you would like. Okay, so this was just a very, very quick roundup of the latest features of the Atlassian Intelligence in Rovo. I hope that I inspired you to go and try it if you didn't. Over 50% of us actually don't use AI every day on a daily basis, but remember that we can save so much time. And over time, once we create more and more documentation and more information in Atlassian products, the Rovo and Atlassian Intelligence will get better, and it will also save time to your teammates, and you will get information faster, and maybe we will get rid of that pesky meetings that we don't want. And here's the link that I promised. So if you are excited and if you would like to give feedback to the Atlassian team, this is the link for the Atlassian community. It will take you to the Atlassian Intelligence section of the community where you can talk to the product team of Atlassian, so I'll keep it out here. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm not sure how much time I have. Do I have time for questions? 5 minutes. Okay, let's go. No questions? Okay, I'll do the questions. Who used some Atlassian Intelligence feature? Okay, perfect. Tell me which one, and did you like it?
It would be Loom. So for me, I'd say I'm more at creating notes from blank pages. It doesn't really come to me naturally. But when you just record a video, you're quite comfortable in your own room, recording a video on what you know and can speak about. And then it just automatically populates notes in any format you want them to be in, because you can pick the different subcategories of the notes. So it saves so much time of something I wasn't very good at, and now it comes automatically. So really good.
Yeah, Loom is the best. Anyone else here? Okay.
What I really like is creating automations, so rules, but from natural language. So without me having to know the structures and so on, I want this to send an email whenever a page is updated, and it just creates the rule.
Yeah, automation for Jira can be hard, and if AI can help you, that's always amazing. Okay, there were more hands, and now no one's raising them because I'm asking, right? Okay, perfect.
Okay, obviously, within Atlassian, we're heavy users. I'm using AI multiple times a day. My biggest help with AI is to use the transcripts of customer calls. Now we use Zoom, so we have Zoom integrated with Loom. The videos are stored in Loom. We have the transcript from the call, and then usually we put that in Confluence. We want to store it there, and then we need to decide as a team what are the action items, who needs to do what. So we just have AI create the action items for us after the call, and yeah, like that we don't forget about what we need to do.
How do you integrate Zoom with Loom? Zoom, okay.
It's easy.
It's easy, okay, you can ask. Anyone else using Atlassian Intelligence?
I really liked Atlassian Intelligence when setting up service requests, request types basically. It helps me to suggest fields and also the types of the fields, and if the fields are not created, I can click on one button and I can automatically create those fields. And generating conference content, just like using ChatGPT.
Do you then edit the content, or are you usually happy with what it produces?
Let's say 80–90% I'm happy. But yeah, I still need to double check it.
That's perfect. That's great to hear, right? Okay, anyone else, or should we close? Okay, go to the link, make sure that you talk to the Atlassian team about what you like, what you don't like, what you would like to improve, and
I want to say one other thing. The only thing I don't like about Atlassian Intelligence is that it's only available for premium customers, and it comes as a package. So if you want Atlassian Intelligence, you also have to pay for other stuff as well. So maybe in the future, Atlassian will consider having like a separate package for Atlassian Intelligence. You know, for example, if you have JSM and you don't need assets, you don't need advanced incident management, you don't need all the other stuff just to get a hike in pricing, or more than double the difference between standard and premium, then have like a package with Atlassian Intelligence separately, something like that.
that's the place to go. Perfect, but a great idea. Okay, thank you so much for joining the session. I hope that you enjoyed it, and now to the next one.